Okay, so apparently people are saying that To Be Hero X has fallen off. Yeah, sure, and my fridge is full of fresh vegetables. The thing is, every anime goes through this wave of impatient viewers who simply can't handle a pace change. And just because the pace changed, just because the animation quality was downgraded, that does not mean the anime is now bad. Because if you think about it, every other anime has gone through a similar pattern throughout history. You watch any other anime, you will see that the initial episodes are usually quite well animated. They have fluid animation. It has a much better print than the rest of the season. And as we slowly and gradually enter the rest of the episodes, the pacing also slows down, and we usually get some filler episodes in between. So if you're saying that because of that, the whole series is bad now, well, I feel like the series hasn't fallen off. It's simply your attention span, right? And if you think that the series is supposed to throw a new character backstory at you every 5 minutes, well then you're watching the wrong series. Because think about it, there are only 2 other characters left who still deserve a backstory, and that is Ahu and Dragon Boy. And if they're going to be cramming up 20 new characters into the first season, then it's not going to be enjoyable anyways. And the fact that they've slowed down and actually explored the stories of the other characters is actually pretty decent, and it is quite enjoyable. Sure, I could have gone for some more Lin Ling screen time. Hell, they could have given us more of Hero X, because the whole series is called To Be Hero X. Seriously, come on. They could have also gone another route where they would give us a bunch of tournament matches, adrenaline-pumping fight scenes. That would be really fun. But they went the other route with
Alien.
Sure, they could have explained the Smile incident. They could have given us more of the past with Zero, with the rest of the villain arcs, and they could have told us more about the Commission. Instead, they gave the spotlight to some side characters. I'll admit, I'm trying to justify a series that is literally trying to kill itself off. I admit, it is quite bad. I do not want to watch Nuo. I do not want to watch her dad, the scientist dude whose name I can't even remember. What I do want to watch is the main heroes, the guys that we fell in love with right away. The guys that we have basically glazed since the very beginning. That is Hero X. Sure, now the story has unfolded. We now know where the heroes stand, what the characters are like, what the Commission somewhat is like, and now we can actually put 2 and 2 together. And considering the fact that they gave us this new twist with Nice being alive, more on that a little later in the video, but now we can actually speculate more. Now we have newer ideas. Even though these characters like Loli and what was the other guy again? DJ dude? Yeah, DJ Shindig. These guys are like a completely... It's like we're exploring a side quest instead of going down the main quests. That's the only way I can explain it. Sure, now we got to see a bunch of episodes with little Johnnies in them, and now I can actually say that I care about the little guy, but come on, we could have done a lot better. And the fact that Ghostblade, wow, Ghostblade is a completely different character than what we first imagined, what I first imagined. Because the thing is, people were overhyping him. People were simping over this character, and he simply felt like a person who was going to be this cool aura farming dude throughout the series. But instead, he's an ice-cold killer. A quiet guy, a hitman that basically annihilates anything that the Commission calls a target. And I feel like we're gonna be going through the usual trope with, you know how it goes when there's this supposedly evil guy who has done a bunch of bad deeds in the past, and then he meets this really cheerful, extroverted character that just changes him, and then the bad guy, or supposedly bad guy, decides to turn over a new leaf. And we will go through this. I already know it. We will go through this because we got to see that the fight scene between Ghostblade and Ysoul in the newest episode, and it does feel like that is the direction we are heading in right now. Because considering the fact that he was stopped right before he was going to kill little Johnny, and it just clicked right then and there. Oh, hold on. If you're actually enjoying the video so far, make sure to drop a like down below. And if you actually want to be notified for whenever I upload in the future, do make sure to subscribe. It really helps me out to figure what is going on and how I should proceed with my videos in the future. So yeah, back to it. Now, you know me, I speculate, I overthink, and I make connections. And I make connections sometimes that even the writers probably didn't intend. And deep down, I always had a feeling that Nice's death was actually faked. Because in my other video, which if you haven't watched it, go ahead, take a look at it right now, card appearing on your screen, where I claimed that Moon's death was actually faked. I was gonna talk about Nice's death being faked as well, but it felt far-fetched. The idea seemed simply way too out there, so I decided to not talk about it. But this time, I feel like I should, because I would have been proven right. Come on, seriously, if I had said it, if I had only gone ahead and said it, it would have been amazing. But the thing is, you might think that this guy, of course, now that he's seen the guy actually is alive, of course he's going to claim that he thought about it first, but think for yourself. Who in the right mind actually jumps off of a building while smiling? Why no? Nice does. An idiot, a person who's actually being controlled by the commission, a person who is being forced to do stuff he doesn't want to. So, what if his death was fake? Because the thing is, his death was never talked about ever again. He simply died, he got replaced, done and dusted. And I feel like that is happening all over again. Here's the deal. Here's what I have speculated this time. E-Soul. OG E-Soul and the new E-Soul's fight never really got a climax. We got to see the new E-Soul take over through a visualization of graphs.
Mission has announced that the two E-Soul's trust values have merged.
The graphs simply merged and we assumed he was dead. And maybe the public did too. Because if the OG E-Soul was dead, where is his body? Why did we not get to see the fight scene ending? Why did he simply get removed from the series and never talked about ever again? I feel like it's happening all over again, just like it happened with Nice. And he might get a comeback. And I will even go so far as to say that E-Soul might come back as a vigilante, because apparently he was the only person who actually cared about being a hero. He was the only person with a real moral compass. And he didn't really care about the publicity events.
1,000 units have been made.
The politics of the commission. He just cared about the people, but the people betrayed him. And so did the commission. The commission simply replaced him. So what if he comes back as a vigilante just to expose the commission and their wrongdoings? That is, I feel like a genius right now, but I might be proved wrong in the future. But who knows? We'll get to see. Now, there's more. Ever since I read the posts on Tumblr about the intros and the outros having more of the story bits in there, I have been listening to it in every episode, so have you. But did you ever take the time to pay attention to what the lyrics were? After watching the latest PV, I can't help but make a connection between E-Soul and the intro music, because in the intro music, the lyrics go as such.
I always knew where I stood.
He always knew what his morals were. He always wanted to be a hero.
I tried to be so good.
He tried to play along with the commission. He tried to be their good little boy and play along, right?
Look at me now.
He is presumed dead. Look at me now. He's dead.
I don't know how.
Somehow he'll come back, right?
But I'm a real hero.
Which he is. He is a real hero. And if we take into account the lyrics of this intro, it all makes sense. To me, at least, it all fits. Because the thing is, I feel like it's not just a bunch of random events going on. It all is a interconnected ploy. It's all just, as usual, as I said before, a large chess game, right? The series is still as in-depth as it was in the very beginning, especially considering with the new twist that they gave us with Nice still being alive. I feel like if we are patient, we will still be rewarded with more intriguing, interesting story bits that will actually keep us hooked for longer. Yeah, that's my whole 2 cents with the whole new wave of people just simply calling this series whack. I feel like I had to say something, and that's gonna be it, guys. Yeah, that's all I have to say. See you guys in another one. Bye bye.